morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to look at one of the weirdest and coolest Pokemon promotions that you are going to see, and it is all to do with Choki Choki over in Indonesia. Now, Choki Choki appears to be basically chocolate sticks, or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure. And it feels like the kind of thing I could go and do a bunch of research and I could find out what Choki Choki Surprise actually are. And I feel like that would ruin the, I'm going to say it, surprise. Nah, they're just sticks with chocolate paste or whatever on. They're pretty cool. That seems like the kind of thing where if I were to visit Indonesia, I would buy a bunch of these even if they didn't have a Pokemon TCG promotion. But they do. They do have a Pokemon TCG promotion. And this is extremely cool. There are 19 different cards that are available. But here's the thing. Let's take a look at Pikachu. Now, there's a couple of things to note about this Pikachu. Firstly, it's got the Choki Choki logo on. There's the stamp. And you guys at this point know I am an absolute sucker for a nice stamp. I love a good stamp. This is the Pikachu from 151, I should say, and it's just that card with a stamp. But it's not actually just that card with a stamp. It's also got promo numbering, which is honestly kind of awesome. It's a promo numbered Pikachu with a stamp, and it is exactly the same as the Pikachu from 151. It is a reprint of that card. But because they've given it a stamp, they've given it promo numbering. A lot of the time over here in the West, where we get a straight reprint with a stamp, it doesn't get a promo numbering. Take the Pokémon TCG I literally showed you yesterday. That is a reprint of the one from Paldean Fates. So we put a fancy stamp on it, but it still has a Paldean Fates set, well, I would say set symbol. It's not really a set symbol at the moment. It's a set code and number. Works fine. Here, they've got a set symbol, which is promo, which is awesome, and it's got the stamp. But there's also a foil version of it. Yeah, it turns out not only have they just given us these 19 cards, which alone are pretty cool, they've gone and done foil versions of 4 of them. Yes, the obvious 4. And now here's the thing, I don't know what the pull rates are like for these. I would imagine, and let's be clear, I'm just supposing here, I have no proof of this whatsoever, but I'm assuming these have a lower pull rate. I am assuming that these are harder to find. Could be wrong, but I'm assuming they do. Now, what's weird is the Pikachu is just the same card. You got the Choki Choki version, the Choki Choki stamp of the 151 Pikachu, one regular, one foil, job's a good 'un. But they've then gone and done, for the first part of the Pokemon from Gen 1, but they've mixed it around a bit. Take Bulbasaur, for instance. What we've got here is we've got a regular Bulbasaur, which is a reprint of the one from 151. It is a 151 Bulbasaur, and it's just a reprint with the Choki Choki logo. But then we've also got the Okacheke promo Bulbasaur, which was an actual promo over here. It was in the poster collection, and that comes through as a reverse holo. It's not even a reverse holo. It's a Pokeball holo. Remember, they had these in Japan for 151. We've never had this style of Pokeball holo. Japan's had it for a few sets. We've never had it. And at this stage, it's fair to suppose we probably never will. Indonesia's getting this as promos, which is honestly kind of amazing. And then they've copied this for the other Gen 1 starters. So, for instance, we've got the Charmander, that is just the regular Charmander from 151 with a Choki Choki stamp, and then a new promo numbering. They are all numbered in order, incidentally. I'm not going through them in order, I'm showing you the cool ones and then we'll finish up. Obviously, the foil ones we need to get to first. And then we've got a second Charmander, which is the promo that we got in the poster collection that they are getting as a foil version. And then the same thing with Squirtle. They've got the regular Squirtle, which is just coming through with promo numbering and the Choki Choki stamp. But then they've got the one that was in our poster collection, the promo, which for us was an actual promo, which is coming through with the Pokeball foiling on. I adore this. I think this is spectacular and brilliant and wonderful, and I love that they're doing this. This makes me super duper happy. I don't know what the pull rates are going to be like for these foils. There are 4 of them. You've got Pikachu and the first partners. They're the only foils there. But this is just fantastic. As a side note, they are Indonesian, which is weird, because they're kind of in English, but not. So you get the English names, and you get English characters in the attack names and text, but you don't actually get English. It is Indonesian. Whereas other Asian territories tend to have their own characters, like Japanese, for instance. In Indonesia, you've got the English names and English characters, but it's not actually in English other than the name. And the fact that it says basic in the top left-hand corner. These are all basics for what it's worth. So what else do we get? We've got ourselves the Oddish, which again came from 151. You're going to see a pattern here, all right? They like the 151 cards. We've got the Ponyta. Guess where the Ponyta came from, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, Ponyta came from 151. We've got the Staryu. Do you want to tell me what set that was from? It is, in fact, from 151. We've got the Clefairy, which, yes, if anybody's wondering, is the one from 151. We've got the Okacheke Slowpoke. I'm a huge Okacheke fan, as I've told you many times before. Even in the context of Okacheke cards, this is particularly awesome. And actually, an appeal from your old pal Wassy here. I really want the Okacheke ones here. Your foil Bulbasaur and your Slowpoke for my Okacheke collection. Now, the main collection is obviously English Reverse Holo, and Japanese. But weirder versions like this, I adore. So if anybody in Indonesia, or anyone that isn't that hasn't hookup, if anybody can get hold of these and wants to trade them, please get in touch with me over on Twitter at the Wassy, because this would be amazing. I'd love these in my collection. We've got the Machop from 151. We've got the rather lovely Ekans. Yes, it's from 151. We've got the Coughing, who looks adorable, let's be clear, from 151. We've got the Dratini, just chilling. And also, some of the attack names, most of them aren't in English, but then you got stuff like Dragon Whip, which is just full-on English. So, the Staryu with Speed Star would be another example of this. And then we've got the Kato Pidgey. I'd also quite like the Kato Pidgey. I do have a bit of a Kato collection going, but not to the level of Okacheke. We've then got Meowth, and then our old pal, Eevee. So we've basically got a bunch of these cards from 151 that have been reprinted, and then 3 of them that were actual promos for us that have been printed as Pokeball foils, and then Pikachu, which is available identically as a regular or a Pokeball foil, which is honestly just weird. In terms of playability, remember that the Charmander do see play. Like, Charizard is one of the best decks in the game right now, and Charizard decks do like this Charmander. Generally speaking, the 70 HP one that's got a single energy attack that discards a stadium is the better of the 2. That is the one that tends to see the most play. But, yeah, that's basically it. Like, in terms of playable cards, that's the only one we really see on a regular basis. No, I'm lying to you. We got the Pidgey as well, haven't we? That's the Pidgey people tend to play. It's got Call for Family, lets you search for 2 basics. So actually, we do have the basics of Charizard and Pidgeot. And of course, in a Charizard deck, Pidgeot tends to be your big support. Yes, there are other ways to play the deck, I am well aware. And post-rotation, it tends to mix around a bit more. Right now, Pidgeot really is the build seeing the most success. Post-rotation, that's not strictly true. There's like 3 builds that are all legit. But my point is, they are the most playable of them. For me, it's the Bulbasaur, the Slowpoke, and the Pidgey because they're the artists I like. But this is kind of amazing. Once again, these are just reprints from 151. If you want to ignore them, ignore them. You don't need these cards. However, they are pretty amazing. They've got the stamp on, they've got promo numbering, and you can just go into town and buy a pack of Chocky Chocky, get yourself a lovely snack, and get yourself a Pokemon card while you're at it. I wish we had more promotions like this in the West. And I'm well aware that we've seen what happens with cool promos in the West. People cannot necessarily be trusted. So maybe if they tried doing stuff like this in the West, it wouldn't go well. There is evidence that it wouldn't go well, okay? But I see Indonesia getting this cool stuff, and I'm just like, I want that. I really want that. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you want. I want to know what you think. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So, yeah, tell me which of these are your favourites. Tell me which you're most excited about. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Tamberlin, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.